Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the Comedians of Entre Nos Live. I'm your host, Eric Rivera, and today we got another killer lineup. First off, I'm bringing on, you know him from his HBO half-hour special, Adorable. Give it up for Orlando Leyba.
Hey everybody.
What's going on, Orlando? How you feeling, man?
Good, man. I feel great. It's a sunny day in California, man.
I know,
Beautiful.
right? The
Yeah.
cold is finally gone.
Finally, dude.
Beautiful thing, dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's put the other people in here. Also, with her own half-hour special, Easily Offended. You guys know her, Gina Brillon.
Hey everybody.
How's it going?
Good. I'm chilling here in New York in the epicenter of everything unholy.
Not only just chilling and in the epicenter, but expecting.
Yes, about
Oh, what?
6 months, a little over 6 months now.
And how's that? Is that freaking you out a little bit? Is it like what's going on?
I think it should freak me out more than it actually does, but it really doesn't. I'm just like, I mean, you know how antisocial I am. I'm like, stay home. This is my dream.
All right, and let's get our final comic in. Also from the Entre Nos series, she did the About last night with Marlena Rodriguez. Big round of applause. Kim Congdon.
Hey.
How are you, Kim?
I'm good. Are we all just gonna pretend this is normal now?
Yeah,
This is
pretty
the new
much.
normal.
This is it. This is life now.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
cool.
I
I'm
put
cool
on
with it.
with my pajamas and that's it. Okay.
That's all we got.
Damn.
So what have you been doing? Because I've seen all of you online. So we'll start with Kim. What are you doing to sort of stay sane through all of this?
Well, when the word first got out about Corona, before they were talking about masks and gloves, like when there was just whispers, I dipped out to Florida really early on, and I was
I think you're making it sound like gossip.
what do you mean?
When people first started talking about it, I was like, whatever.
So I got out soon because I was like, you know what? I'd rather be quarantined in the sun than in the winter. So I've been with my family, and it has proven to be a gigantic mistake. Now I'm stuck here, and I can't go back. And my mom's telling me, like, she just came in as I started live streaming to tell me to clean the grease off the counter. So yeah, it's like high school again.
But isn't that like the best? Like you're feeling good about your career, and then it's like mom comes, hey, can you take it? You're like, oh god, I guess I'm not.
I'm gonna tell you, I can't promise you that it's gonna be quiet here because my family's so fucking sick of me coming out and being like, you guys gonna be quiet for an hour because I'm doing this thing on Zoom for my career. And then they come in, I'm just bombing a roast battle like with 16 people. It's really bad.
What about you, Gina? What have you been doing to keep sane?
Same old. I mean, the only thing I miss being on stage like crazy. Like I watched that documentary that's on Comedy Central. This is stand up, and all it made me do was miss being on stage. Like I was just like, I miss being in the clubs. I miss being on stage. My sanity comes from binge watching programs and fighting my pregnant murderous rage to kill my husband on a daily basis.
Okay.
So that's why I'm keeping away
Sounds
from
like
it.
love. Sounds like love.
It's love. It's love because there's no murder. If there was murder, I'd question the love. But there's love because there's no murder.
Yeah, right now is like the worst time to watch any kind of comedy because then you start missing it. You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you watch comedy specials and you just start jonesing.
Yeah, it's depressing. You miss it too much.
But
What about you? Orlando shaking his head. No, you're not missing it yet, dude.
Yeah, no, not yet. I'm
good.
I'm like, man, Gina, you know, this is I lean into the positive outlook of everything. So I'm like, oh, I'm not on stage. Oh, I'm not on stage. And I just lean into the positivity of that and keep it moving, man.
Now, are you guys
good.
doing any of the live Zoom shows, or are we just doing this, like live stream?
I can. Michael Che said it best when he said that stuff is like watching a hostage video. Like, it's just like you can't, like you watch it and it's just a person performing to a camera with no audience, and it looks like it's just tears streaming down their face. Like, I can't.
Now I feel like if I ever do it, I want my wife to just stand next to me, like holding up, and then Said apples.
So where are you guys from?
But I give a lot of respect to the comics
Yeah.
doing those shows. I just can't right now. But I'm like really enjoying it. That's what the main thing is. I'm enjoying resetting, and I am. I'm truly just laying back like that. I'm visiting old material. I look up at writings that went my first 2 years of comedy, and I was like, oh, I can sharpen that off now. I got these tools that I can, so I'm really enjoying it.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that you're working.
No, I'm not working like that. No.
You gotta be snacking and watching TV. Like, I'm pissed. Every time I see a comedian working, I'm like, you motherfuckers, can we all just rest? Because I don't have any pressure. Can we all just rest? Because now I see you now you have a quarantine show, you got my clubhouse, all this shit. And I'm like, I thought we were taking a nap.
I thought we were all breaking this together.
You're resting and doing work. You're killing it.
So now, are you against these live shows? Because I know SNL did their first quarantine version. Did anybody see it?
I did. I watched it.
What did you think? Was it?
I'm impressed by anybody who can put in the effort to put together a show like that, or any kind of show with no audience, and still deliver it with the same energy. Like, my favorite segment was Weekend Update, but that's always my favorite segment. But they did theirs with a small audience. So they had, like, I was like, oh, laughter! Like, I heard it, I was like, oh, I remember that. So that was nice to hear. But, I mean, I commend them, man, because they had Tom Hanks host it. They had Chris Martin came on as a music guest. Like, they really put together, considering, like, everything, like, they really put together a hell of a show.
Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of it, and then I also saw the King and I, the new episode that came out for the Tiger King, and I was just like,
I haven't seen it yet. Don't ruin anything.
It was weird because it was this. It was like, so what did you think? And it's like, they're just talking from their home, and of course, me being me, I'm like looking around, like, what's this dude have in his house?
Carol, did they see the body in the background?
No, I got halfway into it and they hadn't shown her. I don't know if I find it like these people didn't know what this was going to be. And I'm sure they did it. They're like, yeah, $500, I'll do it. And then it become this crazy thing. And they're like, oh, we got screwed.
I got to watch that, man, because I was pretty obsessed with the show itself. Like, I put it on a whim. Like, and I hadn't heard anything about it. This was before I blew up. And I'm just sitting in my house and I'm like, all right, let me just watch this. The preview looks interesting, so I was like, let me watch these crazy meth heads. And so I put it on, and I was like, oh, it became like a Spanish soap opera. Like, I was literally like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh, white people
They just kept on topping each other.
Yeah.
Every chapter, I was like, they can't go any further. What?
I was like, yo, how is he bagging straight dudes?
And the straight dude was pretty fine.
Quad racers, man. It's all about the quad racers.
I'm telling you, it's all about that meth. There was not one healthy tooth in that entire show, I don't think.
Yeah, and the one that had healthy teeth had no legs.
You got to give up something if you're on the Tiger King show. Like,
I'm not an addict. I gave up my legs for that.
But I love he didn't even lose the legs to tigers. Like ziplining. What? Maybe you should get like a regular job, like at a desk. Stop messing around with defying
things. It's not working out for you.
Yeah, it was. He was basically Lieutenant Dan. He was Lieutenant Dan, and he was just trying to finish it with tigers. But then he became good at doing the tiger stuff.
I don't know what goes through your mind when you're like, you know what? I don't got legs. I'm gonna work with tigers though.
But you know what I found interesting about the whole thing was, this documentary sort of reminded me of. Did you guys see Blackfish with about SeaWorld?
No.
So good. Actually, I saw it so many times. I can't even tell you how many times because it's embarrassing.
So for me, it cracked me up that both of them were like, so do you have like animal expertise? I always thought these people that handled these animals had like marine biology or even like the type like, the head of our zoo, he's definitely gone to school for like animal. And it's not. They're just like, hey, I need a job. You want to mess with tigers?
The people at SeaWorld are like, I could swim.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was like,
That's why they got the job.
Hey, listen, Alicia, you're doing great selling this SeaWorld merch. You want to train an orca? Yeah. All right.
That's amazing. I love orcas.
I have a picture of myself with Tillicum in the background.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I'm wondering like where he is because I would totally go see a show
I
with him.
think he's dead.
Is it really?
I think so. I think as many times as I watch a documentary, I can't remember if he was dead at the end or not.
That's why you keep watching and you keep forgetting what happened to the people.
I blocked it out. Yeah.
So have you guys stumbled onto any like other shows that you've been watching, or are we just going by Tiger King and Ozark?
No, I'm watching everything. I'm into like Marvel stuff, so I watch Legion, which is like super dark. Like I think it's DC, super dark. No, that is Marvel, but it's like some random Marvel show. And then Prodigal Son, anything that's dark that's gonna inhibit my sleep. That's what I'm watching. So I'm just purposely scaring the crap out of myself so that I can't sleep at night. It's great. My plan is working. Beautiful.
Nice.
You and my wife have the same. That's your jam. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is nice to close your eyes to. This is nice. Right when you're saying goodnight.
My wife gets so mad at me. She's like, I don't know how you can just get in bed and fall asleep. I'm like, that's because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what it's for.
This is protocol. I feel the same way about my husband. I'm like, you're just gonna sleep. You don't got anything to worry about right now, bro. Bro.
You're just gonna close your eyes and
It's like, bro, that's what tomorrow's for.
Yeah.
yeah. I have my wife anytime she's like, oh my god, and starts hitting me with the stress. I'm like, are we solving this tonight? Because if we're not, we can do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can we solve this tonight? We can't. Then what are we doing?
Write it on the whiteboard. We will handle it in the morning.
Okay, that's a good transition to one of your questions, Eric, about solving it or not. Is this solving a problem or not solving a problem? These new bidets that you install on your toilet.
Wait, hold on. Are you thinking about getting one?
No.
Why not?
No. No.
It cleans the bottom. No toilet paper. You save on toilet paper money.
No, thank
It
you.
recognizes your asshole.
I don't like that.
That is so scary. I don't want to feel like I need a bleach every time I need to take a shit.
Exactly.
Smart toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all hairy butt Kim.
Is that Kim coming?
That would be a report. Kim needs to wax. That would be a report. Every time. I would not go one of those toilets. I don't need another device telling me how unhealthy I am. I don't need no toilet.
See, I would get a regular bidet. I don't know if I would get the smart toilet that tells you if you're healthy or not. I don't need to hear that, especially during the quarantine when you're not feeling good. Like, feeling good today. What? Not healthy.
No.
What?
And I don't.
Camera
The toilet
in
just
the
gags and
toilet.
you're like, oh, that doesn't sound good.
Is anybody just going to acknowledge the fact that there's a video camera in the toilet? Like, are these brought to you by R. Kelly? Who thought of these toilets? That they were like, somebody was watching porn one day and was like, you know what? I have an idea for a good toilet. Like, let's put a camera in a toilet. Like, that is the scariest thing.
Brought to you by Weinstein Productions.
But
It recognizes your poop print, apparently. Your fecal imprint. It recognizes that, and your thumbprint. When you flush the toilet, it goes by your thumbprint.
So it's not the.
They
It's not
never
the
recognize my toe print because I've never touched a flusher with my hand in my life.
You will have no profile. It'll be like, unable to read.
It's the poop and the thumb. I love that Kim was trying to make her butthole like a snowflake. Each one is different.
Yeah. You guys don't understand. I'm gonna Google that question after we get off air because I was really confused. Are they like fingerprints? Each one of them, because she was saying fingerprint, and it recognizes your butthole. And then I was like, "Is your leather Cheerio a fingerprint?" That's weird.
Leather Cheerio.
Ew, I've never.
Heard anyone call it that?
Does the toilet talk? Like, how does it give you this report? Is it like, hey, Gina, eat more
If you're
vegetables?
sick and you sit on it,
How do you know?
Is it? Does it talk to you, or does it send you like a text message, the poop emoji, and like a thumbs up, thumbs down?
you just sit on it and it sighs.
Oh, man. It's Gina again.
Yeah. Third time in 15 minutes, Kim, huh? Lay off the coffee.
Now, are you guys doing any other kind of online shopping? Because I've been getting merch stuff like the smart toilet. I get crazy stuff merched to me on Instagram. I'm like, huh, do I need that?
I bought a bunch.
Yeah, and by the way, side note, I want to give a heads up to everybody. If you see a product that comes at you like, wow, this product is great for my life on your Instagram, don't just buy it off of the Instagram. Go to look it up on Amazon first, because they'll charge you sometimes even 3 times as much as what Amazon would charge you. They just it's the same. It's just a loophole, and I was just like, I don't like that. I made the mistake of buying something.
I thought Orlando was going to give us a promo code. If you're going to buy it on Amazon, just type in "Hey Lando."
Entre Nos at Entre Nos.
Entre Nos, you get 10% off whatever you buy.
10% off.
Yeah, I bought a lot of workout stuff, so people from Amazon must think I'm a workout fanatic. I'm just like, no, my gym is closed, and I need to work out this aggression. So I bought egg weights; those were dope. I bought those egg weights for boxing.
Yeah.
Those were nice, man.
We've been buying stuff, but we've been buying like basically stuff for other people. That's that. Now that's a good vibe, but like
I've been selfish. I just bought it.
no, because I had a FaceTime with some close friends, and me and my wife were talking to them, and I was like, it's so dark in there, so I bought them like those eye rings, and I mailed it to them.
Yeah, I like Orlando's positive energy, and then we buy sandwiches for the homeless.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, I'm not that
I
positive.
bought myself face scrub. My sister asked if she could have some. I said no.
Yeah, we all seem like really horrible human beings in comparison to Orlando. I'm like, I do a lot of workout stuff, even though I'm pregnant and I work out like twice a week, maybe.
I've hit my mother twice.
Like that's a lot of work. I don't know. Aren't you? If I was pregnant, I would just tap out
Me
for
too.
9 months.
It's so uncomfortable though that I feel like at least if I get up and move, like I feel better. Like if I'm just sitting down and doing, like right now I am laying on the bed because this is the only position that is comfortable when I'm trying to relax.
Do you have a giant pillow for the bed?
Yeah, what do you think this is? What do you think I'm laying on right now? My giant body pillow that I snuggle
If
with.
you don't have kids, there's a giant, it's like a person in your bed with you. My wife had one, it was the shape like the letter J, and she put it in between her legs and just.
Mine is a long body pillow. I was at my mom's house. I was shout out to my mom who's probably watching. And she was like, do you just want to take this with you? And I was like, yes, please. So I jacked my mom's body pillow and it lives with me now.
Now Orlando's gonna buy your mom a body pillow.
What's her address?
What's her address?
It's already been sent. I hit her up on Facebook, got the address.
Yeah, I'm ashamed to say this. I bought a magic kit. Like I'm not going to do magic, but it was one of those things where I was like, I can learn magic. I got time. Why not?
You're gonna learn magic.
Yeah, my kid wants to learn magic. I was like, I can learn magic too.
I was gonna say, if you have a kid, I think that's like a prerequisite.
At some point, you have to learn. He made your patience disappear, so now you have to make yours disappear as well. So.
Yeah, see, I envy you three because you don't have the kids to deal with during the day, so you can just
live my best life.
Terrorist in my womb, if that counts for anything.
No, not yet, because he's not out and asking for stuff. And
you ask for things via kick. A violent little terrorist in my womb.
Yeah, he's not. The baby's not shouting it, but it's tugging at it like this. Hey, at that umbilical cord doing.
Send some apple juice down, lady.
I need egg weights now.
Egg weights.
Lay off the egg weights and go eat some egg whites. Oh God, shoot me.
So you're 6 months, so due date is
July 17th.
July 17th.
Oh, that's a month to have a baby.
I know. Yeah. So now if this thing has extended, how is that celebration happen with the family? Because they're gonna want to see, but they can't now come over.
I will live stream my birth.
$5
You will have a Patreon and you can watch
it. That is a fetish somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Oh, without a doubt. I don't know.
There's gonna be a bunch of Russians in your chat room. Yes.
This is great. I love this show.
This is the part. This is the part where they say it's crowning. We are crowning now.
Down now. Yeah, I thought about that, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I think people have just accepted it, where it's like we're just gonna have to go with whatever happens. Like, my biggest fear was having to have the baby at home, because hell no. My mother-in-law had all of her kids at home, and I'm like, that's good for you. I need all the drugs, so I will be in the hospital. I talked to my doctor first, and I was like, yo, am I going to be able to get into a hospital? And he was like, you'll be fine. The maternity ward is completely different and separate from what's going on. But my fear is, how long am I going to be in that hospital?
Right.
It's not so much about like, okay, I'll get there, but like, I'm going to have to break my baby out.
Yeah, we had a friend that did a home birth, and we don't visit them.
We take life lessons from them.
It's weird. It's weird.
They haven't cleaned up or something? Why won't you visit them?
Like, you know what happened there. Like, it's not
Just like a CSI crime scene all over the place.
like a little body.
Who was murdered in? You're like, over there by the piano? Don't go there. The floor's still dense.
So when me and my wife were expecting, we watched a bunch of these birth videos to prep, because at first she was like, oh, I think I want to do natural, and somebody gave her this like DVD to watch, and it was a home birth. And it was like, first of all, it was legit. This lady's in the pool and she's got her doula. And the father was like, you could see him through the glass doors, like he's out on the bar, he's barbecuing with his other kids. And I'm like, what is this? We're not doing this. Babe, stop yelling. How you like it, medium? Okay, no.
All right, babe. All right, babe.
I saw a really fucked up birth one time, and the women, instead of being in pain, were training themselves to have orgasms as they gave birth.
I saw that one too, the orgasmic birth.
No.
Nope.
And it was possible. So they had like orgasms instead of pain during birth.
That is okay. First of all, send me a link. That is first of all, I would love to do that research. That would make birthing very interesting.
But isn't it weird that you're like coming on your kid?
That's gotta be weird.
Money shot. Ugh.
That's the first bonding experience you have is
That's gotta be weird. That has gotta be weird. You gotta have some serious breath control.
That's got to be uncomfortable for the dude, though. Like, it's an orgasmic. Like, so afterwards,
the size of a newborn. He's like, I can never compete with that again.
Yeah. Or he's like, hey, I've never heard you sound like that before. That's the first real one she's ever had.
Oh shit!
but like you get intimate with your wife and you hear those moans, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, smells like a hospital in here suddenly.
Yeah, I don't know. Because once you have kids, it ruins some things for you. Like, you know, my kids call me daddy. So like when I watch like porn and daddy, I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm out.
I'm out.
I like this, daddy.
At the door, you're watching porn, and you're like, wait, what? Somebody calling me?
What was that? Huh?
I'll be right out.
I cannot chime in.
No,
I'm good.
Orlando's like, I'm judging all of you right now. Orlando, you can judge us. I give you permission.
so you and your wife had decided no kids.
No kids, man. No kids. We're good.
You don't want to go through that whole process, hold the baby, little.
No. I'd rather see. I'm about to say another one of my things, and then you guys are gonna do the thing where you're
Oh
like,
no, Orlando's gonna be a again.
huh? No, we like want to set up a school in DR.
I'm done.
Fuck off.
Who is this guy?
Freaking Orlando.
I just said a mother came on her child, and that's what you follow up with. I'm sick of this.
It's along the same lines.
Orlando's like, we're bringing happiness to people in both scenarios.
Okay, everybody.
We just want to bring education to these poor, impoverished nations. Oh, thanks, Orlando.
Yeah.
I ate a bagel today. Like, Orlando, you're an angel.
You really are. That's an awesome pursuit to build a.
Yeah. Well, right when I was asked, we were dating. Like in one of our first dates, we had that conversation. Do you want to have kids? Nah, I'm good. I'm good too. And then she was like, "But why?" And then I go, you know, my mom had kids. They're my brothers.
I
And
love
then they had a lot of kids. And then I saw that happening, and I was like, yeah, I got a lot of good 7 nieces and nephews. I'm good now. It might be more. I don't know.
I don't really know them like
Yeah.
that.
And when my brothers started having kids, they were like, I was still like a teenager. So I was like watching that, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look fun. And then I kept them moving after that.
So wait, at what point?
Eric?
At what point did you decide you wanted to do the school? Was this while you guys were dating, or did you guys come up with this idea together?
Yeah, pretty much together. We want to do one in DR and then one in Colombia.
I thought that's where that story was going. Like, oh yeah, I told her on the second date, like, I just want to build a school for kids. And
Oh no, I wasn't that suave.
I was like, that was a lot. And now you got it.
Right there.
You told her that, and she remembers that.
Yeah. But I like kids, man. I like it. Like, I'm so excited for Gina, and I know just how wonderful of a mother she's gonna be, because she's really gonna tell the kids straight up how she feels. And you with your kids, I think it's fantastic, man. You know.
I love
Kim,
that
I don't know. Or kids?
No kids.
All right.
No.
I love that he didn't give you motherly traits, Gina. He wasn't like, she's so caring and kind. She's just gonna tell them the truth, right?
Yeah. He'll be like, yo, my man, stop crying. Stop crying right now, son. I'm not even playing with you right now.
No, I honestly think it's really
take off those booties. It's time for Tim's.
I love
it's 6 months now. Tim's.
And that's a woman be pregnant and have a child. I don't know why. It doesn't happen very often. So it's nice to see funny women be able to do both things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so I think that's really
good. As long as
at a high level too,
it will be good.
Exactly, at a high level. So yeah, I haven't had sex at all in 10 million months in quarantine.
Wow, has not been that long, but okay, all right.
Every month it's like a dog years in quarantine.
It's not the same timeline. Like
the timing's weird, right?
It is. I forget what day it is every single day.
3 weeks feels the same as 3 months somehow.
Yeah, it feels like we've been in quarantine forever, and we really have not.
No.
That was me. Sorry about that.
Eric, please.
Somebody says they miss Eric Rivera and Kim Congdon in DC. We got to get to DC, girl. We got to get out of this quarantine and get there.
Right? We got to get to DC.
So wait, what? So speaking of DC, like, what's one city you miss? Because like we were supposed to do this tour, me in Orlando and the Entre Nos people, and like I was excited because I was going to see cities I'd never seen before and go to cool cities that I love, like DC, Chicago, and it's all gone now.
I miss Colorado. That's one of my favorite cities to perform in. I love Colorado so much.
Likewise.
Yeah, and I was supposed to do Arlington for the first time, and I was so bummed. I didn't get to go to Arlington. Man, I was bummed about a lot of the shows. Like, that's the thing that, like, I miss all the cities, but there's places that you just love to go to. Like, you have your cities where it's like, when you book a show out there, you're just like, yo, I can't wait to get out there. You have your whole weekend planned.
Yeah.
To get out there.
I was supposed to do the weekend with Joey Diaz next month in Miami. A whole weekend in Miami. It was going to be so fun. With Diaz, he's so fun. What a fun time.
Mm-hmm. With the HBO tour that we were taking part of before it got shut down, I was looking forward really to Miami, it being like my hometown, and being able to go home and play the Improv and see Justin and Melissa. They have been with me from the jump, and see them just like watch me and my family coming out. Oh, because we were gonna pack that one out.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that when we were coming.
Were you happy to lose? Like, a couple of shows on my calendar that I was
like, anymore because I'm desperate again.
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
Comedy is good. I would love to perform down at the Boohoo Ha 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 Ha. So I don't care as long as it's a spot.
Like Jimmy's Chicken and Chuckles is booking. All right, see you guys in October.
Oh shit.
So now, what's the first thing you guys are gonna do once this is all lifted? Like, what's the first thing you're like, I can't wait to do this again?
Karaoke. Oh no, I'm gonna go.
But you used to do karaoke. You would do single karaoke if you could.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, by myself in a private room, like
You can do that at home.
no, it's not the same if you're not paying a stranger to listen from outside of a room. Like it's not the same. No, I want to see my people. Like I want to go to a restaurant with all my friends and just like chill and like be with my people like outside. I want to go stop by the cellar, say what's up to everybody. Like I want to see the people that I'm used to seeing in my life.
Right. Oh,
Eating at restaurants. That's like my jam. That's what I look forward to. Yeah. Just feeling that energy. Obviously the comedy clubs, but honestly, I don't know how fast they're gonna get back in there. But I know that the quickest thing I can do right away is going to a restaurant and just vibing out like that, and watching people still give me 6 feet, which will be fantastic.
Yeah, it's still gonna be.
Because that ain't gonna go away. The distance, it's just we're all gonna be able to go out, but the tables are gonna be 6 feet apart from each other. Oh, that's gonna be great.
but at what point does that attitude kick in? Like at first, it's like, oh, I like that the 6 feet, but then at what point do you get to that restaurant? Oh, we're booked right now. You can put a table right there. Like,
I'm a reservation guy, dude. I'm down. I'm down to suffer.
Orlando's like, I've been prepared for this. I'm ready for anything they throw at me right now.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Oh man, the 6 feet wherever you go, and they're talking about There's a study from Harvard University. They're saying that this might take till 2022. We might have to practice social distance.
Just not.
Which will create a new form of habit, a new culture of being.
There's like a whole list of people that I'm like, I've been wanting y'all to stay 6 feet away from me. Like, I got a whole personal list of people that I'm like, please, for the love of God, stay 6 feet away from me.
2022. Dang.
2022. Bro. That came out today. That article came out today.
Hey Kim, if it feels like 10 million months now, 2022.
Yeah.
Not having to be in the house, but the distance.
Like social distancing will still be a thing.
Social distance, it'll be like
it should have been
6 feet.
People have been too close, anyways.
It's true. It's true, especially if you're from New York. Like we've been on top of each other. A little social distancing is really good.
Yeah, you can feel people's breath down your neck in New York.
It's true. I wonder how the subways are going to be. Like, I wonder what subway life is going to be like.
And you can't do 6 feet on a subway.
Yeah. Like, what
I never thought I missed the subway, but I do.
There's something I miss about it, too. But I do wonder, like, because you see pictures of it. Somebody sent me, like, at the beginning of the quarantine, they were on the 2 train, and they sent a picture of everybody still on top of each other, because this is how ignorant my city can be. Like, New Yorkers really were like, still got to get to work, bro. Like, they were on top of each other like nothing was going on. It was people with masks on top of each other.
Wow.
Before we wrap up, there's 2 news stories I want to get into with you guys.
Yeah.
First one, because we were talking about like this whole Zoom and online life. There was a NASCAR driver. I don't know if you guys saw.
Please.
He was doing a virtual race, not even a real race, and he drops the N-bomb. Just drops it.
In defense, I think he maybe thought that that's what the N in NASCAR meant. I don't think he knew that it was. I think he was like, that's not what it. Y'all giving NASCAR people too much credit. I don't know how much you think they know about the world and society.
But it's so funny. People were outraged, but when I saw the headline, I was like, yeah, that's
yeah, NASCAR. Like,
that's a nice NASCAR driver's first word.
Yeah,
the baby. What do people think is going on in the world? If you think NASCAR drivers aren't dropping the N-bomb, learn to read a room.
Did you not see Tiger King? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and then he apologized, but it made me laugh because he was like, I don't believe in that word. It's not like he stuttered through the word. It was just smooth. It was just like boom, and it was like,
boom.
Yeah,
here you go. But the apology very stuttered through.
Yeah, I don't condone the word. I was like, come on, dude.
Come on now. I never even heard the word before. I heard it in a rap song earlier that day. I'm just giving him an accent.
Oh, you did? Yeah, one. It rolled off the tongue.
It rolled off the tongue way too easily. You're like, I don't on a live. A lot of people are gonna get caught doing ratchet stuff on live.
100%.
Yeah, because we're gonna think that it's off, and then bam, it's gonna happen.
I still like, even if I FaceTime somebody or call somebody, like I still check my phone before I start talking junk. I'm like, hold on.
My mom blows on it for some reason. She goes,
Yo,
they'll only hear you doing that. You won't hear them. It makes no sense.
You know why I do the same thing, Eric? I remember I was having a fight with an ex-boyfriend. We were on the phone, and I thought the phone had hung up. And I'm with my homegirl, and she starts talking all this trash about the guy I was dating, and I'm agreeing with her. I'm like, yup. So he's listening to the whole thing. Yo, I looked down at my phone, and I was like, oh my God. So since that day, every time I always check my phone. I do the same thing.
No. Anytime I want to call, my wife's like, "Who was that?" I was like, "Oh, it was James. Hold on, that mother like that."
Let me put this on airplane mode just in case.
Your iPhone will screw you too. If you leave it on the text too, if you talk shit and say that person's name, it'll start recording your voice and then send it. One time I was talking shit about my friend's boyfriend, about how he wasn't a good enough boyfriend for her, and it voice called her and told her the whole thing. And she was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that's how you felt, sad face. And I was like, oh, that wasn't for you, but it was about you.
That wasn't me. That was my toilet.
My toilet was reading my blue profile, and it sent that text message to you.
Oh, fuck.
The second story, I don't know if you guys saw this. In China, they have record. They're spiking in divorce rates right now. Now that they've lifted the quarantine, so couples are getting out and like, hey, listen, it was a good run.
I get it.
Is he in the ring? I understand.
No, I am.
Makes total sense.
I get it, China.
Yeah.
I think
China. That would be a shirt.
Spending this much time with the person you're with, like, even if you really, like, for me, spending this much time with anybody would be like, oh my God, like, you need your alone time. Like, the problem is, like, we live in a studio apartment, like, me and my husband. So, like, if I want alone time, it's the bathroom or nothing. So it's like, you get no alone time to yourself the smaller your place is. Like, if you have a house or a big apartment or whatever, you can have your alone time and you can chill. So I am not surprised that I bet you if you look at these people's apartments, they got
They're tight
at all. I go to my husband's car to do live sometimes. Just so that
I've seen those lives. I've always wondered why you in the car.
But yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I can see couples breaking up. I can see divorces happening. I could totally see that, man. Especially if you already are nitpicky with your partner. Like, if you're already a nitpicky person, or like there's one responsible one and one irresponsible one, like, y'all gonna try to kill each other. Like, that is a dangerous situation. Somebody help.
This is gonna put a lot of relationships. We're gonna find out who's who.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out if you're as loving as you are outside in public. You know what I mean?
My mom.
I'm blessed, Gina. So we have like downstairs living room, upstairs bedrooms. So we get to separate, and then they're still very relaxed here in California. So my wife goes out to like the stoop, and she'll sit down and just capture some. And we kind of like, we have a good sense of, it's 17 years we've been together. So it's, it's kind of like, yeah, I know that tone.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I'm going to go on the stoop. I hear your voice right now.
Yes.
Orlando's about to announce that he's opening up a marriage counseling center for people who need it.
For post-quarantine couples.
My mom just walked in here and asked how to spell chat roulette, so I'm sure her and my stepdad will be getting divorced in 2 days.
Yeah.
How do you spell Tinder? Is it Tinder?
So Kim, how does it feel? Because I have a few other comedian friends who did this, what you've done, where basically left the city where they live at and said, you know what, I'd rather be with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Not thinking that we were going to go this deep into the weeks.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Horny.
Okay, pause, because you're with your parents.
I like Orlando's like young lady. Young
Young
lady.
lady.
But, you know, you can't leave. You can't have your. It's not. I don't have my own room. You know what I mean? Like my mom just barges in whenever. It feels a lot like being a kid again. It's a
Have
lot.
you looked up flights? Have you been like, yo, it's $48 to go back home first class?
It is, and I've been like wondering, like, is it worth it to get on a flight?
I don't know, man. I wanted to bounce. I was gonna go to my parents. I wanted to go to my parents' house.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna get spoiled. Like that's how my parents are. Like I know myself. I'm pregnant. I'm gonna get spoiled if I go to my parents' house.
Right.
I wanted to go, but my doctor was like, anywhere you leave out of New York, you're gonna be quarantined for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, so your parents' house. So you're in New York, Gina. Your parents don't live in New York.
No, they live in Maryland, so they're like
Okay. Oh, yeah.
3.5 hours away. So he was like, you can go, but you're not going to see them for the first 2 weeks that you're there because you're going to be quarantined just because you're coming from New York.
Yeah.
I came from New York, but I drove, and I quarantined in New York in my room for like 8 or 9 days before I drove. And then when I came down, I went to like one of the clinics and I asked, I was like, does my quarantine, because I didn't get on a flight, I drove straight here. I rented a car. I was like, do I have to start my 2 weeks over? And they told me no. They were like, just start with your 8 days and then keep going and just make sure you're fine. So I did that until it was 14 days. And then I came out of my room. My parents were like, my mom was treating me like a leper. Like I was in my room and I'd hear a knock and then I would hear her feet like running away. Like the whole family would run if I opened the door.
Just sliding sandwiches under the door. Here.
Yeah.
Don't breathe on the plate.
I would crack open the door and my mom would call my sister and be like, Haley, get away from there. Get away from there. She's coming out. Like that.
Oh my God.
So we were really careful.
I'm sure that did wonders for your self-esteem. I feel good. Get away from her. Don't look her in the eyes.
I don't know if it was a Florida thing, but like for a second, I would say for 5 seconds, it crossed my mind, and I was like, should we just go to Florida? But I think it's also being from Florida that we, it's like basic. And then we were like,
it's the heat, and you know how Florida is.
Yeah, and to be with family, and I was I was a little bit more paranoid than normal. I was like, they're gonna shut down flights. No one's gonna be able to travel. We should just go. The tickets are like $48 right now, and this was like in the first days. And then I was just like, oh no, I forgot we're grown, and then we stayed here.
Tickets were $15 when I left.
What?
Thing to fly, 15. I'd never seen a flight so cheap.
$15, damn.
I was like, it's gonna cost me more to Postmate sushi tonight.
Yeah.
I thought about it's so funny. Like, so my mother, she's in New Rochelle, which is like where was like the epicenter before the city took.
Wow.
And me and my wife were talking. She's like, "Oh, do you want to go see your mom?" And I was like, "I love my mom, but
Oh man.
Yeah.
I can FaceTime her."
Another time.
And I felt bad because I'm her favorite, so I was just like,
Well, I didn't know your mom was in New Rochelle. That really is like the epicenter, man. That's where they started the like drive-through clinics and everything was like in New Rochelle. That's bananas, yo. Because my ex's family lives out there, so like they live in Yonkers. So a lot of them, and I know like 3 people that actually caught this, like that had it and that were hospitalized.
right.
And I was like, yo, that's crazy, son. I was just with you how many weeks ago?
You start doing the math. Ugh.
Like, when did we last talk? I mean, I feel for you. I hope you get better, but when did we last have contact?
You got to replay that whole night. Like, hold on, we shook hands. Did I touch my face after? No.
Did I touch my face? I've been thinking about how much I touch my face too. That's what this really got it. Like every time I touch my face now, I'm like,
Dude, I do like lives and morning walks and stuff, and I'll get messages like, "Stop touching your face." 'Cause I don't realize how much I do. I'm like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" People are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know."
I'm so sorry. Coughing in public will change.
Before we get out of here, let's tell everybody where they can find you. We'll start with Kim.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, on Instagram and TikTok at Kim Congdon. And you can check out my podcast, Broad Topics. It's on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, anywhere you find podcasts. It's TOPIX.
You're TikToking.
TikTok.
Oh, I can't. I'm terrible.
Gina, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at gbrillon. The website is ginabrillon.com or .net because ballin'. I have a special coming out on Amazon June 5th. So you guys, whether we're in lockdown or not, June 5th, The Floor is Lava comes out on Amazon. So check that out. And I have a podcast called Mess in Progress that has some episodes up now. Obviously, we're a little bit on hiatus, but we try to go live every Sunday, usually from my husband's car. And I guess you guys can just find me there. Everything else is Gina Brillon, Twitter, Facebook. So
I have a feeling people are going to start watching your lives to see if you're in the car. Oh, she's in the car. They must have fought.
Oh, I wonder if they had a fight. She's in the car.
Orlando, where can people find you?
At Hey Lando for everything, and one of the things that brought us all together here, other than you asking us, is that we're all Entre Nos comedians. So on HBO On Demand, HBO Go, HBO Now, you can look each and one of us up.
Yeah. I'm Eric Rivera. You can find me Eric Rivera Comedy. Handles right there on the screen. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I am not TikToking because I'm an adult. But yeah, go stream everybody's specials. Streamed about last night.
At Kim like that blasting. Like I was thinking it, but he said it.
Because I'm an adult, I got in this chat. Don't invite me to another one of these shits.
Kim, I'm on TikTok and I suck. So there we go.
And join us here. We'll be here every Wednesday, 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This has been the Comedians Of Entre Nos. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace, everybody.